volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to an episode of More Than Meets the Eye and Blindformers combined, because we're talking about Transformers Legacy today. I figured with all the negative with that negative Buzzsaw and that negative Winston from Ghostbusters, we needed to dip back into some good stuff, some calming stuff, some really fun things. Because I don't like being negative all the time. That really sucks. It brings my mood down, causes me to rage out. I don't like it. So, we're going to talk about something that makes me happy. We're going to talk about Soundwave, the legacy or core class Soundwave that came out in Kingdom at the end of this, at the end of, I want to say like April or May, but it was the tail end of Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom. So we're going to be talking about a Kingdom mold today. Woot! I mean, Buzzsaw was a Kingdom mold, but we're going to wash our mouths out with this guy because it's a better flavor. So let's talk about him and also talk about what we're doing here today. We're gonna review the robot mode. We're gonna review the transformation, and then we're gonna review the tape cassette mode because he has a tape cassette mode in the Transformers Legacy Core Class series stuff. I just do all three things in the same video because it shouldn't take that much time. If I tried doing all three things in the same video for the chug scale stuff, those videos would be really long, and I don't like really doing long videos. I want to be able to take the time to describe the thing to you. If I do all three things, I can't take the time to actually describe, and I feel like I've shorted you. So I like to take the time and physically describe everything. So let's get into this guy. All right. First off, what you want to do is actually, no, wait, we're not transforming it yet. Ooh, I am getting ahead of myself. Where did that piece go? Okay, there it is. There's that spot. Go back in your spot. Go back in your spot. There you go. All right, so let's talk about the robot mode of Soundwave here in his core class. So articulation first. Right angle elbow, and he also has my bicep swivel. His hands do nothing but fold in for transformation. He can raise his arm up, kinda, and it can rotate 360 degrees. So that is the joints and articulation for the hands. The head can look left, and it can look right, and it doesn't like to move much. It is a very, very, very tight joint there. The gun here on this top can articulate, and it can look left and it can look right. So he can just blow up everything around him. He does not have hip rotation, but his hips do allow him to kick out to the side. Almost a 90. Let's see. Yeah, no, actually, he can kick out the side a good 90. Look at that. He's a kicking guy. Chow. They can move up, kinda, forwards. His skirt here gets in the way, and you have to actually get your finger in there and rotate the skirt up just a bit to get him some more motion in the forward of his legs. But the skirt is really troublesome when it comes to actually getting him to do anything moving his legs. You do always have to get in there with your finger and move that skirt upwards or forwards just a bit if you want him to have some other types of action poses. That's a hindrance, and that's a little annoying. Furthermore, let's go into knees. He bends single jointed knees at a 90, and because of transformation, his feet do kind of fold a little bit. So he does have a little bit of articulation in his foot. He can slide like that, but that's it. So that's all for articulation. As a figure of this size goes, he's pretty good. So let's compare him over here to the core class Bumblebee that came with the Spike Wiki, which was just simply a terrible figure. But I purchased it because I wanted to make sure that I had a Bumblebee in Legend scale to compare to this Soundwave in Legend scale. Though seriously, if you, my viewers, know of a better Legend scale Bumblebee, let me know. I do want one, but I want one that's sturdy enough because I do beat the crap out of my Bumblebees. I don't like Bumblebee. He's my least favorite Transformers character, and I'll die on that hill. I especially don't like it when Bumblebees don't talk. Bumblebee is supposed to talk. and it absolutely, nope, not getting into the Michael Bay movies. Not getting into that stain on Transformers. So let's see. In front, the core class Bumblebee that came with the Spikewick Wiki in Target exclusive stuff stands a little taller, just a smidge taller than the Soundwave, and that's because he's he's from the series of Transformers. His mold is from the series of Transformers toys before they switched over to this new stuff from War for Cybertron, this new company, and yeah, no, I like the new factory much more. This is, look at that. It's a back-to-back, side-to-side comparison, and of course, got that nice hip action, so he can just go, cow, yeah, kick that Bumblebee across the way. Bumblebee didn't fall off. Run over here and kick him again. There you go. Okay, so we've got, yeah, let's get into the talking about this guy's feel, what he feels like, his molding and sculpting. Yeah, that's a good thing we can go on. Let's see. Shoulder-wise, he's got some pretty basic plain shoulders. There's not even any type of little core class siege port for him, which is a sad thing. His forearms are pretty simple. That feels like armor. They become the back of the cassette tape. The hands have some sculpt work in them so that you can feel that they're hands, but it's very minimal. There's very minimal sculpting on the arms themselves for detail. Meanwhile, the chest is a different story. They did a good job with the head sculpt for Soundwave here, though they didn't need to really do much. He's got, he's got that face shield, and then he's got that inset area where his eyes are. I'm going to assume they're yellow. And then he's got that little crest thing on top of his head, as well as the little antennas. And yeah, that's his head. It's not bad. It's super tiny, though. It's like the size of my thumbnail, if not smaller. And then something else about this figure, on his chest area, you get your fingernail in there, and you can pull open the chest piece. And you pull out this little cassette tape, this little laser beak cassette tape. It does not transform, sadly, but it's a cool little detail, and you can put that cassette tape back in there and close it so that he can record what people are saying around him, because that's what he do. Okay, sculpt-wise, on the lower end, we've got the forward, backward buttons, and the stop and play buttons. Those are his skirt, and you got the buttons for the micro cassette. And all those are really done well. They pop out. You can feel them quite easily. I actually really like them. The negative with the skirt I've already talked about, but the molding on the skirt is quite excellent. It's nice. Now we go further down. Well, let's switch them over here to the back. No. We'll go further down on the front of the legs, then move to the back. So front of the legs, the thighs have nothing. They're just plain, not really sculpted at all, except for some small robot sculpting and like little lines and panels sculpted in there. Then we get down to the lower legs, and it's very smooth, very nice plastic there. He's actually got a port on the side of his leg, which is really nice. You could put a couple of things there. It's actually just one port. It feels like it would be multiples because of the way the sculpt work is there. It's kind of fun sculpt work, but there's only one port, and that's at the top of it, right below the knee area. And then we come down here to the foot, and the foot, for what's visible, it's really sculpted. It's decent sculpt, but there's not much in it. This is very minimalistic on the sculpting. This is very minimalistic. Most of the sculpt work for this guy went towards the chest area and that skirt and his head, and his guns. Okay, speaking of his guns, he comes with two. Take both of them off. One usually hangs out at this port right by his head, and it says like his machine gun, and then the other one has this little pointy bit on the end of it, and that's his stabby gun, his electro shocker gun. And it's also a melee weapon if he wants it to be. So we'll just set these two off to the side, and we'll go ahead and, hey, don't you roll away. Let's go ahead and transform him now. There's not much more to talk about him. He's pretty small. Oh, wait, I forgot Lego. I forgot the Lego pad. How could I have forgotten the handy dandy Lego pad? Nope. Hey, don't you fall. You're getting measured. Stand up straight. Stand up straight. Okay, there you go. All right, we've got 9, 10, 11, 12 studs tall. Super tiny in comparison. Nice little showcase of how tall the robot mode is. Here is G1 Soundwave. Oh my god. And we got, boom. Look at that. He can look over the back of G1 Soundwave. He's so cute. He's just a tiny little adorable guy standing on the Soundwave. It's Soundwave Inception. I wonder if I could actually put him in the... that would be funny. So, set that Soundwave off to the side, and we will start the transformation. To transform this guy, all you need to do is rotate his head back 180 degrees so that this little area shows up. There's a little pinhole in there that the screw is in, I assume. And then you fold it into his back. He's got this big hollow section, which I didn't talk about the back too much. I guess I'll just bring it up right now. The back has a very weird backpack feeling thing. I don't really understand it. I wish it had a little hinge at the bottom because the head gets stuck in there sometimes. And but it comes out quite far from the back. And then it's like a dorsal fin. And then the back of the legs, not really much going on. In the back of the waist area, there's not really much going on either. There's not much to talk about. Oh, and there's some hollow sections that appear, but that's because of the transformation. Oh, that's totally something I forgot about. This guy doesn't really have any hollow sections. It's quite nice. He's got the place for the head, for the feet, for the hands, but other than that, there's no waffling. It's quite nice. So, what you want to do with these is fold the hands into the arms. Okay, I'm just going to fold the hands into the arms now, and then you're just going to fold each of the arms back, and you're going to make sure that the hands that are folded in, make sure that they are both facing each other, so the little nubbins of the hand coming out the back are facing each other, and pinch in as hard as you can on each side. Well, not as hard as you can, but make sure you've pinched them in, and then just cinch them down on some joints. There's a little bitty hole in this arm, little rectangular hole, and there's a little bitty rectangular peg that's on his back, and that just fits in quite nicely. Okay, now we come over here to the feet, fold the feet into their folding area, and then rotate this around. You would think that the feet would go towards the head, but that's not right. Rotate the leg so that the exterior, the kneecap, is actually going to face towards his side, like you were doing a nice side kick, but instead of that, you're doing it forwards. So once you've done that, go ahead and do that side kick, and then rotate the knee, bend it backwards on itself. Ooh, it makes me cringe every time I bend a knee backwards. That's just nasty. And it will click into place. And then we're going to do it on the other side. We're going to rotate the leg so that the foot that we folded in is facing away, and then we're going to bend that knee backwards. Ow! And we're going to then click it into place. Nice. And now we come around here to the back of him, and we put his two little guns and those siege ports that we talked about on the side of his legs. Well, not siege ports, but you know what I mean. They're just little ports. And come on, find your spot. Find your spot? That's not your spot. Let's see. There should be a spot in here. We got it. Right? No, that's not it. Is that not it? Oh, that's not it. And that's not it either. Let's see, where is it? Is that it? Is that it? Okay. Maybe that's it. No, that's not it either. Huh. Sometimes you can lose the little plug-in hole. Don't know where it went. Let's see. It is a little difficult to feel, but once you found it, it fits quite well. Let's try the other side. Maybe we'll have... You know what? We can just break the leg back, and it's going to be easier to find now. Yeah, we can untransform that leg slightly, and then we can feel on everything and find this little hole. Where in the world did it go? I could have sworn there was one on each side. Oh, right. They were closer to the knee, so it should be up here. Ah, there it is. Nice. It was just hard to plug him in. Okay. Go ahead and do it on this side too. Make sure you find that spot that's closer to the knee, and there it is. There it is. Got him. Okay, cool. Now, just click that back together. Make sure that hand is put onto that. Yeah, there we go. And it's all done. You've got yourself a nice little Soundwave mini cassette player. Let's do a size comparison. G1 Soundwave mini cassette player. New Soundwave mini cassette player. Let's see. Can you fit? No. It is too big. That would have been cool if it could fit inside of the chest piece, and then you would just have, eternal Soundwave inception, sound waves inside of sound waves. Yeah. So this is the old Soundwave. Let's talk about things with this guy, and I have the old Soundwave here because there's something that just irritates me about the new age Soundwaves that I wanted to bring up, and I need the old Soundwave to bring it up to you. So first off, we'll talk about this cassette player. We've got the same buttons that were on his bottom chest area. We've got the same cassette tape holder, and I do say that the sculpt work on that is quite excellent. I love the little indentations on the actual glass area on the cassette tape itself. That's really cool. And on the sides, we don't really have anything here at all, which is a shame. But on the top, the port on the side of the head now becomes the place where you would plug in your headphones. The headphone jack. That's basically what that is now, and that's kind of neat. There are no sculpt works on the. Well, there's a sculpt on the side of a little wheel to adjust volume, and on the other side, they skimped out on the sculpt work on there for a little button to switch on and off, which is a shame. And the back of it's kind of kibbly, honestly. You have these arms folded in, and then these little guns clicked into the back area. It stands up pretty well. But yep, it's a rectangle that is a cassette player, and it's decent. But let's talk about this one in comparison. So, something that I am just getting irritated with, because I have the Earthrise Soundwave mold as well. And I did have the Toys R Us exclusive Masterpiece Soundwave. I sold that one to help fund the channel, but that one also irritated me because it doesn't have this one thing. Now look, you unclick the back of this Soundwave, and boom, you got this area where batteries are supposed to go. Now, I don't think I have a Soundwave that actually has the battery still in it, but his guns were batteries, and they each transformed, and then they would be inside this little area because he's a mini cassette player, so of course his guns became batteries. That would explain why his guns were so powerful. They were batteries, after all. But that's a nice weapon storage that they don't do anymore. And it's seriously, like, guys, come on. You're copying stuff from the 1980s. You could at least include the AA battery compartment. How hard is it to include the AA battery compartment? You would just have a hollow section with a little fold-out parts forming piece that you could actually put a little click on the little peg on it to make it into a shield or something. It could have dual personality. It could be something that works multiple things. Have both of his weapons in there, and the shield covers the weapon storage. That's not parts forming. That's weapon storage, and that's cool. This guy had weapon storage, and that's something that no Soundwave has anymore. Why don't they have weapon storage? This guy also has a articulated little swivel on the side and a little up and down button, which is always fun. True fact about this, the Japanese version of Soundwave actually was a mini cassette player that transformed. Yes, yeah. I want one of those. I would love a radio, just a regular transistor radio that transformed. I think that would be awesome. I always wanted to get the MP3 player of Soundwave that had the headphones that were what were they? Frenzy and Rumble, and they each transformed. Like the headphones transformed, and then the actual MP3 player transformed into Soundwave. I always thought that was cool. That's my wish list of things that I've always wanted. Transformers related. That one and G1 Fortress Maximus, because G1 Fortress Maximus is that's a holy grail. That's a holy grail for everybody. But all right, I've talked long enough about this guy. I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and I hope you tune in next Prime. I'm still working on developing a 1/12 scale locker for your G.I. Joe Classified and any other 1/12 scale things out of Lego. I'm realizing, I'm trying my best to figure out how to build some nice pieces of furniture for 1/12 scale dioramas out of Lego. I'm finding that it is actually, if you get it right, then it should be quite nice. You just need the right colored tiles and stuff. I haven't yet decided to paint, but maybe I'll have to. Anyway, hear me blathering on again. Until next time, bye bye for now.